to even be able to just pick up the Ornn. And the answer to this is gonna be a Kai'Sa first. I was expecting a Fiora first though, but it's okay because the Camille has been picked up already.
Yeah, but you have to also put into consideration that KD can just play the Camille and have Ime be the one to play the Fiora, which, you know, gives you the advantage on the top side of the map. And also, looking at how BRU went for the Kai'Sa and the Ornn, although, it's a very staple Dragon Lane, you can counter it by picking the Xayah or a more aggressive Dragon Laner in the Varus. And Golden Kite and Draw, we all know this, right? When they lost against J-Team, game number 2, it was them that was really put to hell, right? Their bottom lane at one point was 0-5. And so you kind of want to solve that by getting a very aggressive Dragon Lane combo in the Gragas and the Varus. Meanwhile, the answer by BRU is the Riven, which can still be flexed towards Valdez in the jungle. Interesting pick.
Riven hasn't been picked up a lot. But when it comes to the APAC conference, there is always this love when it comes to the Riven. Because most of the time, whenever you see a Camille, I do expect the Fiora to be picked up. Because when it comes to the 1v1, the Fiora would have bigger advantages, especially during the early to the mid stages of the game. Evelyn's going to be banned onto the side of G2B because they don't want Valdez picking that up.
Yep. The other champions that might just get banned here are the Kazakhs, right? You target down the junglers and you will have less champions to work with if you are KD and Valdez. That opens up a lot of possibilities right now. Pretty sure this is going to be a Kazakhs ban unless they have something to surprise BRU.
Yeah. Ban the Lee Sin. Kazakhs is a potential ban too. What could be?
Yasuo.
Yasuo ban against Golden Feet. That's a good ban.
Yep.
Kazakhs, they're gonna go for the Nyla jungle.
Oh, this is super slow though, right? Against G2 Blacklist, you want this space. You want, sure, right? Like there's a win condition for BRU that once they reach the late game, they will have, you know, tons of damage coming from their Nyla and their Kai'Sa. But this is super slow. G2 Blacklist can just make plays after plays, and if they take care of their top side, they will end up winning early and win very hard here, Dash. And this is, to me, a very good answer as well. Like their insurance in having the Vladimir for their late game scaling is also a good response by Coach TG.
Yeah, and as long as they have this early game coming in from the Varus and the lockdowns that the Hextech Ultimatum could really give them, they could really just take down any one of this ADCs whenever they need to. Couple that with the Kazakhs that they have here, that just adds up to it. They have a lot of early game potential and a late game insurance, which is going to be the Vladimir. But now, Buriram United only has actually they also have some early to mid game damage on their side together with the Zoe here.
And there's a lot of fans really favoring Buriram United, which is quite surprising, right? Like 69% of the CN fans did vote for them instead of G2 Blacklist. Not sure what they are on really, because but yeah, sure, right? I expected, you know, a 50-50, a good 50-50 between the two. But I guess, you know, a lot of it has something to do with them rebranding, their names being different. But surely, like, if you follow Wild Rift Esports to the T, it is quite obvious that these are the same 5 players that dominated APAC from last season.
Yeah, and I'm really scared about this, though. Because with the composition that they have, yes, they have double ADCs. Yes, they have a lot of late game potential. But do we even reach that point in where these champions are going to be relevant? Yes, Riven and the Zoe aren't really that. Don't really need a lot of items moving forward. They just need one in order for them to have the damage. But still, it's not going to be enough. Yeah. I really do hope to see what BRU has in store for us here.
Yeah, it's super, I would say, heavily reliant on them being able to get the advantages off of the pokes from Golden Feet, but it's definitely easier said than done. You know, you look at the champions here by G2 Blacklist. It's very dominant at the early stages of the game, and you look at them right now, like they're very confident to go for an early game invade. Oh, this bottom lane though.
Yeah, already going for a fight though. Golden Kai super low in HP. What they did there is just to make use of that early game damage coming in from the Ikakian rain, forcing the recall. And that's a big win this early on.
And this is also the same thing that we saw from J-Team against G2 Blacklist, right? The bottom lane by G2 Blacklist really having to surrender the early game pressure just because of their laning. And it's not something that you want to see, especially, you know, at this level of competition. Golden Kite and Draw needs to be better laning-wise.
Yeah. And this is how they started out, though. For BRU, from what they can do this early in the game is just to make sure that they can reach the late game safely.
Yep.
Maybe even stop the bleeding as early as they can. There's no bleeding yet. Maybe later on they're gonna bleed, but for now they're just gonna let G2B take the ship for now.
Yeah, but if you're a G2 Blacklist fan, it's not really going to be very problematic, right? Like, sure, the flash was burnt onto Varus, and Varus is one of the most immobile champions in the game. But you look at the jungler of BRU, it is expected that, you know, the Nyla won't be able to do a thing levels 1 to 5. So it's kind of even right now, and I don't think they will ever be punished from that burnt flash. Oh, what, the Jess?
Okay, goes in, and that is gonna be enough damage to get the kill. G2 Blacklist gets it.
And the one that needs to get punished by that burn flash was G2 Blacklist. There to return the favor was G2 Blacklist. And again, it's about the jungle matchup that we have right now. Thipper trying to get that Scuttle Crab. It is going to the hands of Ime. Not sure, but I believe it was Ime getting that Scuttle Crab, which also boosts their tempo. Again, looking at that overstep by what the Jess. We talked about BRU being able to capitalize the mistake by G2B. From the first minute of this game. There to equalize everything is KD.
Yeah. And as we start the game, though, BRU losing on a disadvantage right there on the first fight. This would really help out what we were saying. Early in the game, we said how G2 Blacklist does have a lot of chances in the early game. Get a lot of kills as fast as they can. Because Valdez would have a problem with this. Because, honestly, it's not the best champion when it comes to clearing.
He is non-existent right now. And KD, although Valdez is here, what can he do, right? Apotheosis? Not really the best ultimate to set things up. But then again, it's all about, you know, being allowing your Baron laner to farm as much minions as possible. But again, you know, just looking at the draft overall, I feel that G2 Blacklist does have all the tools to really win early and win hard.
Yeah. And as we are going to the early game, we're still waiting for 2 minutes before the first objective. And I would really love to see what BRU is going to answer. Because so far, most of our team, like what's happening on the bot side, Golden Kite, Force of Flash, that's a great burn.
Again, right? Like, that's the second time in a row the Golden Kite had to burn his flash. But, ooh, Golden Feet, 1 HP.
Okay, top side, Thipper gonna be running away. Wasn't able to get that up. Too much damage coming from KD.
And this is what we expected, right? This jungle matchup is just going to expand the lead by G2 Blacklist just more and more. And I'm not 100% sure I'm a fan of this Nilo pick, especially with the fast pace that we do have. You look at KD using that Void Assault to really surprise Thipper. And you look at Thipper, he doesn't have any wards placed towards the river. And the minion was so awkward that he had to really risk it.
Yeah, and now Baldus onto the bot side. They're not going to be starting this fight as fast as they can because right now Baldus is just finding ways to farm, finding ways to stop KD from just getting the snowball against him this early on. But for now, based on the positioning of most people right now, they're going to go for a recall, probably go for the dragon this early on.
Yep. 4 minutes and 32k in the advantage of G2 Blacklist. That G2 Blacklist will have the luxury to choose what objective they will be prioritizing. They can either go for the Rift Herald for maximizing their tempo advantage, or can go for the scaling component. And the map that we do have right now is the Ice Dragon. So it's going to be the Ice Soul. Not the best, but it's still very hard to beat come late game. Whenever a team secures the Soul, it's almost an auto win.
Really good that Bloodthirst has been picked up first right there from Triple B, just for him to have the buff a Catherine Rain after. So now with G2B going for this gank onto the mid lane, waiting for somebody to make a misstep. Now they're gonna be able to start this. Sleepy Trouble Bubble was able to hit on one, and Knockup's
Okay.
gonna hit on another, and Golden Tide is gonna be dead again. Apotheosis wasn't able to hit, but the Chain of Corruption is gonna be delaying them a bit.
3 ultimates invested for just 1 kill. Now G2 Blacklist, Aaron still trying to challenge this, but looking at the minimap right now, there's a 1v1 ongoing. The Camille going against the Riven.
Yeah, knocks up on Aaron. Sanguine Pull is gonna be used.
Okay,
He used the Hemo Plague flashing in from Triple B. And BRU is just gonna be winning this fight, but at least topside they got the Rift Herald.
Yeah, and also 1 kill again. Thipper, not really the best start for him. 0-2 in total. And again, just a trade overall. 2 kills, heading over to BRU. One good way to delay the tempo and delay the goal lead that G2B is surmassing for themselves. But then again, you look at the trade up, right? Like you have a Rift Herald that was secured here by G2 Blacklist, and also a very dominating lane on the top side.
Valdez trying to really get close. Not gonna have enough CC at this point in the game, but at least now they lose a little bit of that disadvantage in the early game. But Thipper died here.
Yeah, this is the 1v1 I was talking about, right? When the dragon was being secured, there's also another dive happening on the bot lane. Golden Kite finally get a kill, and there is Aaron to make it happen, as well as Draw. Now, you look at the map right now. Sure, you are gifting kills to BRU, and you were also able to gift the dragon to them, right? That Ice Dragon. But the Rift Herald was used to open up the mid lane, and that opens up a lot of real estate as well for G2 Blacklist.
Yeah, and now with that, you're gonna go to the bot lane. Aaron's gonna be running away. Call it the Forge God was used, but denied right there with explosive cast. And BRU is not gonna follow through with this. And again, as you were saying, Autolus, 2k gold lead for G2B.
Yeah, it still is. It remains at 2k, but it's soon. It will soon open up. 76 HP on this tower here in the mid lane. I believe that's the power of the Rift Herald, right? Like it was summoned in the mid lane, on the top lane. You know, lots of tower plates as well, gifted over to Ime. And you know, all things considered, the pace and tempo is still at the advantage of G2 Blacklist, which is what we expected. Kudos and credits to BRU for finding that pick against Golden Kite right before the dragon started. But that's, you know, one of the positive points, lone positive points that we saw from them this game.
Triple B, damage onto him. Sauce that's gonna be used. Not too aggressive coming from Triple B. Not gonna use the Killer Instinct, but BRU still survives.
Yep. Thipper though, getting some. Oh, not sure what happened here on the top side.
No.
Like Thipper was the first one to destroy a tower, which is not what we expected, especially with the priority that G2 Blacklist did go for on top side.
Yeah, knockups again on Aaron. He still has the Sanguine Pull if ever needs to.
Yep.
Still not going to use it right now. Valve is going to try to go in here. They have 4 people on the bottom side of the map. Sleepy Trouble Bubble is going to be hitting on Draw. But their tower on the top side is going to be taken down.
Finally, right? Okay, so an equalizing tower. And again, right? 0-3-0 Thipper. No, check that. Is it 0-2-0? It's showing 0-2-0 right now, but from my count, it's already 0-3-0.
Yeah. Yeah,
oh, it's 0-3-0. Okay, I'm right.
There's the update. There's the update right there. But again, let's take a look at the replay of what happened in mid lane.
Not the best game so far for Thipper, and again, it's super easy to execute this. One Chains of Corruption, good night.
Ooh, so much damage, and even KD just helping them secure the kill at this early in the game. But for now, still are waiting for the next objective 10 minutes before the next dragon is gonna come up. They've been losing a lot of these towers, uncharacteristic coming in from BRU.
It's kind of expected though. If you have a Nihilite jungle, your tempo, right, and at the early stages of the game, especially knowing that you surrender the Rift Herald in place of for the dragon, you know, these towers will definitely be at the advantage of G2 Blacklist.
Yeah, and G2B with almost 4k gold lead here against BRU is just, as we said, this is what they need to do. Get the early game, stop the bleeding as fast as they could, and just let it be stable, and they're gonna be surviving this late game and maybe even turning things around. But G2B is not gonna let that happen.
Yeah, never. Especially knowing that since they have the real estate advantage, they can just push down the mid lane, push down the top lane, plant vision around the red quadrant of BRU, and that will definitely be enough to at least to do some or to get information as to where their junglers are, or where most of their jungler members are. 3.5k in the lead is G2 Blacklist. Aaron has to be careful.
Yeah, he's the Sanguine Pull this early. Now the dragon is gonna be up. Everybody's rotating at this side of the map. BRU has control at the bottom side of the map.
Meanwhile, they will be sending over their Dragon Laner in the mid lane, but this Dragon's already being started.
It's gonna be too fast. KD is gonna be able to
Stolen!
get in and steal it. 3 knockups on the end, and they're gonna be able to get 1 kill. Everyone's in front. Chain of Corruptions was able to stop them from moving in. Baldus is gonna be running away. What the Jess is not gonna survive this. 4 people still alive. One more shot from Golden Feet. Takes it to 2-4-2.
Yeah, it's an even trade so far, but the Dragon did go to KD. Wow. And again, the Smite King did end up having that 50-50 steal. How many times have we seen that from KD, right? How many times did we see a clutch steal from the guy? And it's not going to stop anytime soon. Dodging that Sleepy Trouble Bubble, still having that Banshee's Veil, and just snagging away the Mountain Dragon off from BRU was definitely huge. You look at Aaron as well, like he's in the perfect position to really punish most of the members of BRU. But that Sleepy Trouble Bubble, you have to have someone body block it for you. Draw needs to know better, right? That's I guess one miscommunication that we did not expect from G2 Blacklist, especially at this level of play.
Honestly, at this point, it's like another day coming in from KD, just stealing a dragon casually, just moving forward. Oh man, with a Void Assault, and he was just able to get it casually. And G2B, now, as we were saying, we're talking about the advantage. Now, there's not going to be any souls coming in from BRU, which is supposed to be their saving grace with them losing this early game against G2B.
Exactly, you know, being able to threaten down the soul, ice soul for your team is definitely a very good win condition to have, but G2 Blacklist was able to block it right from the get-go.
Yeah.
KD there for the heroics. And so now it's all going to be about, you know, getting the possession in here around the Baron Pit and trying to plant some vision. Good thing is that Draw has a way to check vision by using this skill 1. That's always going to be a thing about Gragas, right? They are able to check those dark areas by just using the barrel roll. I hope that gets changed soon, because I feel, you know, there should be no way for you to have eyes on that barrel one way or another.
It's such a fast cooldown too, though. That's why it's always easy to check up on your brushes whenever you need to.
True.
So what they can do here for BRU is to stop this from happening. With a 4K gold lead, this is also a good sweet spot on how safe they can be still. Once they hit the 3rd item onto Baldus, everything will be great for them. But for now, G2B is still taking the face. It's gonna be easy enough for them to take this Baron.
Yeah, and speaking of 3 items, KD is already on his 3rd item. Oh, what the Jess?
Call of the Force God denies Aaron from getting the knockback. They have one more, gets the knock up onto Draw. Draw is gonna be dead. Super fast damage coming from BRU.
And that's one person down for G2 Blacklist. They need to respect the damage of BRU. Remember, they are on a double marksman composition. Another sleep connects, this time on Ime. And this is the power of the double ADC, right? You go over to your Baron, and this will just shred down in an instant. Good way to check is, again, the Meteor Enchant.
Yeah, goes in for the Meteor Enchant. The Sleepy Trouble Bubble would be able to deny the Edge of Night there.
Yep.
So what they can do for BRU is just to try secure space on the top side of the map. That is exactly what Thipper is doing right now. And maybe they can take this Baron later on, but no, they're not going to take it.
Yeah, BRU wisely just backs away. Although the opportunity to go for the Baron presented itself, it's still very risky, especially against a line of a G2 Blacklist, right? You have the Vladimir. If you ever get shredded down by the Baron, that Vladimir can just delete your whole team.
Yeah. But right now, Thipper is having a 1v1 against Aaron. Great flash. Was able to really stop him from really pushing through.
Yep, but he's definitely getting challenged by a 0-4 into Riven. Not something that you expect, right? In a Vladimir versus Riven matchup in the sideline, sure, right? Like with all the ability haste and with all the shields that the Riven has, you kind of have to give it to Thipper, especially knowing that he did prioritize Executioner's calling. But one thing that needs to get corrected here is that G2 Blacklist needs to send Ime, and Ime should be the one facing Thipper, not the Vladimir.
Yeah, if it's going to be a 1v1, it still would be equal at this point in the game, because right now, they're almost equal when it comes to the gold. So, with what we're seeing here, G2B is slowly still taking cover on the mid side of the map. I really love that they still have this mid lane turret, but Infernal Drake could easily be taken here, or at least contested by G2B.
Not the most important dragon, but scaling for damage is still the priority for BRU, and G2B wants to deny that.
KD is going to be here. He's going to be moving forward. Look at the knock up onto the other side, though. eBay is going to be chasing down Baldus. He has one person. Apotheosis is going to be used. He has the horn of the Forge God, but KD still gets it in the end. Onto the backline, Pepper is fighting a 1v3 against Aaron. They have the stasis onto his side. They have a lot of damage coming from Triple B, and they won't be able to get the kills against them. Here it comes. The Battle Star. It's not going to hit. The Snippy Trouble Bubble wouldn't be able to stop KD from pushing through, and he wasn't able to go back to his base.
G2 Blacklist was able to secure the Dragon at the expense of 4 members, and so now BRU does have a good opportunity to equalize everything by getting this Baron. They have their sights over towards it. Like you're seeing Triple V right now. It's an AD carry, but Ime.
Battlestar, or rather CP Trouble Bubble, wasn't able to hit.
No jungler though.
Try his best to really try to steal this against them, and as you said, there's no jungler. He has a possibility of doing that, just one precision protocol, but he's not gonna risk it.
He's not going to risk it, but that's a very good equalizer if you're a fan of BRU. What a team fight by them. And again, it all started with Golden Feet finding and isolating Golden Kite on the side lanes, right? Or at the middle of that team fight, and that's not something that you want to do, especially if you're Golden Kite. Golden Kite's role in that team fight is to make sure that his ultimate will connect onto primary target. But if Golden Feet is on your feet, basically, yeah, it's so hard to do it.
Yeah. For now, with BRU having advantage. Look at the back line, though. Triple B is going to get Hextech Ultimatum. Not going to be able to move right there, but Ime gets knocked up, but no follow-through from BRU.
Decent, and that's an ultimate just to slow things down for BRU. No harm, no foul. And again, on the top side, Aaron is also being challenged. Again, Flipper is the one facing Aaron.
Yeah. Flipper has been getting a lot of this 1v2s, and he's having a best day here. Right now, onto the mid lane, just with the cannon minions. Buff with the Baron buff could really end things up in the mid lane easily, and that's going to be a tower down.
Yeah, KD super ready to pounce. Still has to respect BRU's members. Aaron going for a potential solo kill. I believe that was a Emo Plague invested by Aaron. Shorter cooldown than most of the ultimates, but still. You look at this game, and BRU has one thing in mind, and that is just to slow things down. For them to be able to reach the late game, right? And so now we are dead even in gold. G2 Blacklist again. After everything that they were able to do correctly at the early stages of the game, BRU's experience was able to help them weather the storm. And again, this is the Nyla timings that we are so afraid of, right? Like, Nyla as well as the Kaisa are very deadly when it comes to the late game stages of the game.
And Golden Feet has been doing wonders for the team here. He has been the one really chunking down a lot of his members coming in from the side of G2B. And they have been having a lot of problems here whenever they try to start the fight. Now, the Elder Drake is trying to be taken. They want to chase down on Aaron, use the Sanguine Pull, and that's one ultimate down.
Yeah, and that's a massive ultimate for what the Jess. Still, Valdez, you look at him, very confident. Every whip
can take this fast.
Surely, right? Like, and you also look at the minimap right now.
I don't too far away.
Yeah, sure. Right, like this Kha'Zix is super far away. Good job by Draw, though.
Okay, he was able to cancel it. They thought that KD is still up close. Valdez has lost a lot of this 50-50s when it comes down to it, so he will not try to risk it.
The value of Draw in just intimidating all the members of BRU, scaring them off. They did not know that KD was super far away. But still, this is now anyone's game here, Dash. We thought for a fact that, you know, G2 Blacklist will have enough advantages come early game to really snowball this game out of control, but BRU is here to challenge, and it's not that easy against them.
Yeah, they got the CP Trouble Bubble in KD. Golden Feet not going to be able to get the Paddle Star in too far away. Now just starting the Elder Drake as fast as they could. They're chunking down on it, but the top side though, Ime is already there.
Yep, it's a 4v5 scenario. Now BRU needs to respect the top side. The split push continues, the mind game continues. And again, the battle of attrition, Golden Feet, time and time again, is the focal point of all the offense by BRU. One slip of Trouble Bubble connects, everyone follows.
Right now, Thipper has been having a lot of value on this team, even though he's 1-4. He has been really doing great on holding off against Ime on the top side.
Yeah, that's the 1v1 that kinda has slowed down, and Thipper now has enough items to go against Ime. Oh, Draw.
One more shot from the CP Trouble Bubble.
Not going to hit.
Not gonna continue. Yeah.
But you see that Golden Feed has just one agenda and has just one goal in mind, and that is to just poke them away, and that's one way to control Vladimir for sure, right? Like, we have said multiple times that Vladimir can win the late game, but if you poke him out of the game, you could do this, right? You could basically take out what a Vladimir is known for, which is to win team fights. On the top side, though, there's a 1v1.
Yeah. Top side having a 1v1, though. A lot
of it's a 2v1 now.
is coming from Ime, but here it comes. Triple B wasn't able to hit that. They were not able to get one pick off.
Yeah, that's the respect flash that I believe is kind of needed, right? Like, if that Void Seeker did connect over to Ime, that's just a very easy killer instinct. Although, Jess...
Wait. Yeah, it's not gonna get the knock up onto KD, but now they're so far away, they can even start the Baron if ever they want to. Remember, they do have double ADCs on the side of BRU. They can take down this Baron faster than they can take the Elder Drake.
Yeah, super hard though, right? Like, there is a Scuttle Vision that was secured by KD, but you look at the Elder Dragon, it's not being prioritized.
Yeah, they're hammering down on it. Knock back onto the side, but this might be the death.
Targeting Jess.
Aaron is already in front. They got the kill onto it, but Aaron doesn't have the Sanguine Pool. They already used the Killer Instinct on Triple B. They don't have anybody who can take space for them, and BRU might lose this race.
And on the top side, Ime is continuing the split push action.
Yeah, very smart coming in from Ime. They're already starting it. Now the Dragon needs to be contested here coming in from Valdez. It's still a lot of people onto the side. They're starting onto the back lane. Valdez Apotheosis. The damage is not going to be enough. They have the stasis, but I think this is going to be Valdez dead. This is going to be their time, and they were able to get the kill. Katie is going to be going for the next one, and Golden Feet is going to be ending their lives. That's going to be the kill. G2B was able to get the win. Backline Flipper is going to be the target, and Ime was able to really defend his life. Katie doesn't need any drinks because they can finish its game.
Slower than expected, but G2 Blacklist bears their fangs and is going for the win. 22 minutes in the game.
Doesn't need the Elder Drake. They just needed to take what they just down, and nobody was there fronting for their team. And G2B could end this game with what they just the only member standing onto their side. This could be an easy takedown.
Should be. What the Jess against 3 people still has a lot of damage for G2 Blacklist.
Yeah, gonna take it down, and that's the call that the Forge God used a while ago, so nothing more, and that Nexus is gonna fall, and that is G2B winning first game.
Slower than we expected, sure. But still very